Hello, colleagues. My name is Claudia Abar, and I am a kindergarten teacher in District 4. I'm also your virtual content specialist for kindergarten math. For today's video, we're going to be looking at two lessons. We're going to be looking at lessons for day 5 and day 6 of the brand new Unit 7. As a reminder, Unit 7 has games and additional strategies that we think will be beneficial for you during the last few weeks at school, the last few days, really. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Today, we're going to be introducing a game. This game is called the Double Compare, and you're going to find the information and the hyperlink on both the implementation guidance on both day 5 and again on day 6. The reason why we're doing this over 2 days, the game can be a little complicated for kindergarten. So I want to make sure that I show you a few of the slides before actually showing you the game, just to kind of guide you as to what it is that we're looking for. So when you launch the game, you will be launching it here. Again, the usual introduction launch. And the game looks like this. We're going to be expanding the directions tab, and we're going to make sure that the children know how to play it, which is why this video is being created. The video is going to be challenging 2 players to play against each other. There's also a way for them to play alone, solitaire style. So, and then there will be a summarizing slide, which I will guide you over as we get ready to go into that. So let's go ahead and go back into the implementation guidance, and let's look at, excuse me for that, and let's look at the game. Double compare, the hyperlink is here in the implementation, and it looks like this. This one also has the audio option, and make sure that you highlight that for your students if needed. And it also has the directions. But very quickly, what the game is, you will be dealing cards from here. You have the option of using only primary cards. If you click on wild cards, you will get a wild card which can become any number. So your player will deal 4 cards. The first one will go here to player 1. Second one will also go to player 1. Sorry about that. And then the next 2 will also go to player 2. The goal is to figure out who has the most, who has the greater number. So you will talk to your children about how to play this. You might decide that you will be player 1 as you're showing the demo, and another one of your students, and one of your students will be player 2. In this instance, player 1 has the most, the greater total, because we know that 6 and 8 gives them 14. Whereas here, this was 13. So what happens now is that player 1 will collect all of the cards because player 1 won that round. And then you will play again and draw 2 more cards. So here we have a 4 and a 10 and a 10 and an 8. So this is a really good way to highlight what are some things that you automatically know. They might tell you that they both see the 10s. So the 10s will cancel each other out, so it's easy to do the math. This one has 18, this one has 14. Player 2 won that round. And like this, you will take all the cards over. So this is the basic essence of how we play the game. Now let me guide you back into the slides. As you are playing, you want to make sure that your children know that they can play this game or any of the other games that you have introduced. But you want to make sure that they try this game before moving on to something else, just to give them additional practice in addition. They can definitely do the roll and record and the how many to 10, which is some of the other games that were introduced. The last game that was introduced was the toss 10 chips. Your children can play any of these as they are getting ready for the end of the year and you want additional practice. But here in the summary slide, what you want to do, because you want to make sure that everyone plays this, is you ask them, did you encounter any combinations where you just knew without counting all? Just like we did with the 10s, this will be an example that you just knew the 10s were the same, so you're really looking at the other numbers. And here, you see the 2 6s, so you're really looking at the other card. What strategies did you use today to figure out which total was greater? This is a great opportunity for your children to bounce ideas off each other and share some of the strategies that they use. Let's quickly go into the assessment for instruction, because as we are playing these games, you are also assessing, can your children accurately count the quantities, 10 ones and some ones, to use this knowledge to compare quantities? Can they recognize that if both players have a card in common, they may compare the other card to determine which one has the greater total? This will all be replicated on the following day when we play the game again. But in this one, the assessment is a little bit more intricate. Again, can they recognize the team numbers as 10 ones and some ones? Can they count on from one dot cube to another? Sometimes they won't be able to count the accurate numbers, but they might be able to show you strategies to show that they know exactly what they are doing to get the total. Really quickly, as we look at the Explore slides, we will be looking here to notice that again, just like we did before with the summary, these two numbers are the same, so they will be looking at the other one. Can they count on from one dot to another? And they say 6 and then go here, 7, 8, 9, 10, or do they stop 6 and 10 and then decide to add? And again, just like with the other games, they can do all of these other games as well. But here again, with the summary slide, now the question says, look at these cards. What are some ways we can figure out which player had the greater total? This will be a great time for you to listen to your children's strategies and for you to be able to monitor the progress as your children move on to first grade. We wanted to show you some of these strategies and some of these games because while we are getting ready for the end of the year, we still have work ahead of us. We want to make sure that we prepare our children for all that first grade is going to be asking of them. And we know that you've done a great job. We just wanted to make sure that we reminded you of some of these tips. Thank you so much for watching, families. We will see, not families, colleagues. We'll talk to you soon.